Hello everyone and welcome to QualityOldHomm. Today we are making another tier list, this time from Stronghold unit roster in Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Horn of the Abyss expansion. And the tier list is based mostly on single player settings, so some aspects of the multiplayer might be missing. Furthermore, in the background, my How Good Is series is kind of providing information quite a bit, so the series is affecting the results quite a bit. And furthermore, as the setting is kind of scenario or campaign setting, also the unit costs and requirements are taken into consideration. But without further ado, let's begin. First we have tier 1 units, Goblins. I think these will go pretty much straight to the D tier. And the main reason is that they are really squishy. So if an enemy kind of sneezes in their direction, they begin to take casualties. The growth is nice and the speed is not bad for unupgraded tier 1 creatures, but the stats, they are just really low. And that's the main reason I will give them D tier. Hobgoblins suffer pretty much, the upgraded variant suffers pretty much from the same issues than the upgraded unit, but their speed of 7 is rather great. So high speed for tier 1 unit is always really nice, and even though the unit is quite squishy still, rather glass cannon without being actually a cannon, so poor stats but speed is okay, so I will give them C tier. And of course, if they manage to hit with high enough numbers, they can of course deal some damage, but still the damage is relatively low compared to other units in my opinion. Then let's move to tier 2. First we have Wolf Riders, and I think pretty much the same thing applies to these guys than to Goblins. For tier 2 unit, especially for tier 2 melee unit, they are really weak. So, and the speed for the unupgraded variant is not that great either. So I will give them D tier because of that as well. But when we move to the upgraded variant, Wolf Raiders, I think that the double strike or double attack improves the feasibility or validity of the unit quite a bit. So if you can manage to get some other unit to take the enemy retaliation, and then you can attack with these guys, they will do quite nice damage. And the speed is upgraded quite a bit as well, so that's clearly a bonus. But then again, the unit still is really weak. And I think the term glass cannon applies to this unit rather well, including the cannon part, at least to some degree. So I will give them B tier. And why not higher? The reason is that when something hits these guys, they will take quite severe casualties. Then we have Orcs, and well, arguably one of the worst missile units in the entire game, considering their tier, which is 3. At the same time, they are missile unit and available rather early in the game. So when you are creeping or fighting against the neutral stacks, missile units tend to do rather well because they don't suffer casualties so easily. And because of that, even though the unit is rather horrible, I will give them C tier. Perhaps on the weaker end of C tier, but C tier nonetheless. And the Orc Chieftains pretty much suffer from the same issues as the basic Orcs. So a bit higher speed is nice, but still, in my opinion, C tier is for them. And one of the main reasons why the units are so weak is that they actually don't deal that much damage. They don't have, or rather they do have melee penalty. So if the enemy comes next to them, they will deal quite a bit less damage. And they are relatively slow. So they are among the last units to move in the combat. So not really good units. Then let's move to tier 4. First we have Ogres. I mean, for unupgraded tier 4 unit, these units have quite a bit of hit points and they can deal quite a bit of damage. Of course, their issue is that they may have rather difficult time getting next to the enemy to actually deal that damage. So their speed is rather abysmal, and that makes their use rather difficult in battles. And because of this slow speed, I will give them only C tier. If they had 1 or 2 higher speed, they would most definitely go to B, at least, but with the current speed, yeah, only C tier from me. And speaking of that, a bit higher speed, we have Ogre Mai next, and they have quite a few hit points. I think they are among the strongest, or rather, they can take most of the beating among tier 4 units in the game, and they hit quite hard, and then they have that Bloodlust ability. So if you have some extra space in your armies, you can do 1 stack of these, and they can cast that Bloodlust that will last, say, several turns from 1 unit. So that's really cool. In addition to the rather impressive fighting capabilities. The unit is not fastest among tier 4 units, but here this lack of high speed is not as crippling as with the basic ogres. So I think Ogre Mai are actually quite solid A tier unit. So they do perform quite nicely in battle. And speaking of A tier units, next we have Orcs, and they are available really early in the campaign, perhaps one of the earliest tier 5 units available in the game. And in addition to the early availability, they do pack quite a punch. Flying speed is rather average, but I mean, in the early game, if you are fighting the creeps, they can do actually rather well there. And of course, as they have rather high chances of survival in the start of the scenario, you can get the upgraded variant, so they should have rather high survivability, and because of the ease of access and the relatively good quality, I will give them A tier. Pretty much on par with Ogre Mai, I think. Well, let's put them in this order, actually. This has flying and actually a bit better, in my opinion. Of course, these two have the Bloodlust, but still, I think I will favor these guys a bit more because of the ease of access for them. Then we have Thunderbirds, the upgraded variant, fastest unit in Stronghold roster. That's important. At the same time, their fighting capabilities are quite impressive, and they are available rather early in the game, or rather really early in the game, and then they have that bonus of being able to do that extra lightning bolt damage with RNG. So that's kind of, one shouldn't rely too much on the RNG, but that's a nice bonus as well. So I think those will go to S tier from me. Then we have tier 6, Cyclops. Stronghold does not have that strong missile units. And of course it's tier 3 missile unit, so its basic stats are rather nice, but compared to other tier 6 units, I don't like them that much. Of course they can hit castle walls, so that's a nice bonus, but rather niche ability, and they don't have, or rather they do have that melee penalty too, so yeah, I mean, not really great unit, but since they are tier 6, those basic stats kind of increase their survivability, so I think I will give them B tier nonetheless. And of course the creature dwelling is not the cheapest one, so probably you will go to Cyclops after going to tier 7. So yeah, a bit of, I'm just wondering, should I give them C or B, but let's give it B, because low B, because, well, B tier is rather empty at the moment. Then we have Cyclops Kings. Yeah, the upgraded variant can attack city walls 2 times. That's nice, but niche. And, well, the unit suffers pretty much from same issues as the Cyclops. So, a slightly better variant, but not that much, and because of that, only B tier from me. Then let's see about Behemoths. upgraded tier 7 unit. Well, one of the easiest to access tier 7 units. So that's really nice. In battles, I mean, of course, they have quite a lot of hit points, so that's really nice. But on the other hand, if they begin to face strong opposition, they will take casualties quite easily. Furthermore, the speed is rather bad, and the special ability to reduce defense for this basic variant is not that great. So I think I will give the units only A tier. So it's really nice, especially that early access, but still, I think you should manage the unit well and conserve it so that you can upgrade it to Ancient Behemoths. So I guess this already reveals my position regarding this unit. I will give it S tier. 300 hit points, that's really nice, so the unit can take severe punishment before starting to take heavy losses. Furthermore, that attack reducing enemy defense 80% is really nice, and it's getting better the further the scenario progresses. So kind of the ultimate requisite for Stronghold armies in the late game. However, the drawback with the unit is its relatively low speed, and the reason that it's not, or actually it's not able to fly or teleport or something like that, so that might make the obstacles in the battle map rather difficult for the unit to manage. But still, I think its place in S tier is well deserved. So, this is my view of Stronghold units. Do you agree or disagree? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. And thank you very much for watching. If you like the content, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Have a great rest of the day. QualityOldHomm out.